Okay, time for some testing again in the dark on the Trials Cub, and this time I haven't forgotten, although it's been a while, that I've got one bulb left to try out in the dark, and that is the Halogen 55 watt job pre-focus replacement, which is what I've got in there now. Let's see how this may or may not light things up in the night. Should be quiet on the roads because the rugby is on, but I'm not really interested in that, so let's go and do this instead. Dip, full lead. A squeaky brake is a grippy brake. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the rugby, but team I'd rather win and doing so well rarely do if I watch, so I'll get out of the way. Might improve their chances. And anyway, riding an old motorbike in the dark in the winter is much more fun for me than watching rugby on a television anyway, or watching rugby at all for that matter. Well, the lights are probably going to appear to be awful in the video, but that's mainly down to how the camera picks them up. I can see pretty well here. I could actually tilt the beam of the headlamp, the body of the headlamp up a little with this bulb to see further ahead. Hoping my camera battery will hold out. I've got what I think is the best of what's left of them, and I've just ordered another new 6 batteries, so because we've been let down a couple of times lately and we can't be having that. Well, people are noticing me early enough and dipping anyway, so that's a good sign. So much for the roads being quieter. I didn't think we'd see anyone else on them. Pretty good light. All my viewers are probably wondering how many carrots I eat to be able to see in the dark, but honestly, it is down to the camera. This is chucking out some pretty good light. In real life, anyway. My light switch is a redundant indicator switch from a 1970s Yamaha. I just mistakenly turned my indicator off, but turned my light off instead there. To the left, I've got dip, and to the right, I've got full beam. But in the middle is off. Same as would be off with the indicators, if it had any. It's wired so the side light bulb or pilot bulb stays on with main and dip beam, so I've still got my LED pilot light on at the same time as well. I think we're going to get a bit of a wash up here. Unfortunately, that means my feet and legs are going to get wet, even though the bike has got mud guards. Yeah, this road is like a river. I'm going to take the opposite side actually. There's a wheel spinning third. Wet leaves and mud. Much more fun than watching the rugby. Well, that's my legs pretty much soaking now. Still more fun than watching the rugby. top of Bantam Hill in third gear. Nothing wrong with the way this little Tiger Cub pulls. We've had a lot of heavy rain recently, and there's some chippings and muck and stuff are being moved about. And it can give you the odd little surprise on a corner. Water. Muck in the middle of the road. I know I've ridden customer bikes fairly recently, but there's nothing to beat riding one of your own. Got to be careful along here too, because there's a strong possibility of seeing deer, and they jump through hedges and over fences and things. We actually encountered one along here when I was riding the first Honda XL 350 that I had here. I actually got ready to try and help it out of some brambles, and out of sheer fright it managed to break free itself and run off, and I was told later on that if I had managed to get hold of it to try and help it, it probably would have kicked the crap out of me. Should get a half decent view of Llangadog and the Towie Valley by night shortly. There we are. All those lights down there, that's Llangadog, and the big lights, they are what was once the creamery, or the milk factory as they called it, which has been a pet food factory for a long time now. Coming down fast now. You can see for miles and miles from up here during the day, and some of those lights are a very long way away too. Talking of lights, ours are doing great. That wheel slid on something there on the brakes. I know him. He owns a Royal Enfield and a couple of Panthers. In fact, we've had his Royal Enfield on video. An Electra X, a silver one, which among other things I took for an MOT if I remember. I think he's probably been to the pub, but I won't be going there this evening because they've got the rugby on. I think we'll give the Roman Road a miss, mate. I walked half of that earlier today. It's in a bit of a state after all the rain. And I don't really want to go coming off this in the dark down there. Testing the lights, not my luck. So that's full beam, that's dip. Yeah, there, and tilt the headlamp shell upwards a bit with this one, definitely. Get better at longer range. So I think I'll stick with this bulb. The charging system seems to be managing it anyway. So we've got 60 watts on full beam. I think we got about 5 on the pilot light, about 2 or 3 in the speedometer I think, and if I remember rightly I think we got a 21 for the brakes and 8 for the tail lamp. So we got 68, 73, we're holding the fort with about 75 watts here on 12 volts on what would have originally been a 6 volt alternator on the Tiger Cub, because the alternator is just an old original Tiger Cub one with 2 of the 3 wires joined together, a Xena diode, an old original finned type rectifier. Nothing fancy at all really. I've never been tempted to tilt the headlamp shell up by a few degrees before, but I think I am now. I think I'll do that. Very pleased with it. I got these Halogen Pre Focus replacement bulbs from Paul Goff. I had the 3530 was one I had in my bits and pieces that made me want to pursue it further, and this, the stronger bulb, I think it was a 4540, and this one, which is a 6055, came from Paul Goff, and as did the LED pilot or side light. Well worth using. And it's just a matter of getting the old pre-focus bulb out and a straight replacement. There's no alterations to anything necessary. Oh, hello. There's a bit of a crunch there. I think we might have picked up a stone or something there between the chain and the sprocket. That wheel gave a bit of a kick. Well, I better have a look at my chain adjustment and oil it, I think, before I ride it again. But I would say, as far as that ride went and the lights are concerned, job's a good one. I thought I'd stop it by snapping the throttle open, but no. Anyway, there we are. Made it. Good lights. Very happy with that. So there we are. I can highly recommend the halogen replacement pre-focus bulbs. I'm pleased with that. That's going to stay. So and I didn't have to suffer in the living room watching a team I like to see doing well getting hammered. So it was a win in other respects. There we are. Excellent. We'll leave it there.